Hello everyone, welcome to a brand new video, the pre-season episode of F1 Manager 24 Season 2. In this episode we're going to look at the livery reveals and the driver lineup, specifically just in this video. In the next episode is when we're going to get into the actual season, finish all the back end stuff in the off season as we lead up to the first round of the season. But without further ado, let's take a look at the first livery launch. So, Guan Yu Zhou and Bottas are no more. We have Théo Pourchaire and Yuki Tsunoda lining up for the stake F1 team. One more season until it changes over. But our biggest rival, Yuki Tsunoda at Sauber, I don't think we'll be seeing much more of him, especially not at the front, like we was accustomed to last season. It's going to be interesting to see how Théo gets on, but I'm expecting them to finish relatively close to the back. It'll be interesting to see how they get on nonetheless. Now, let's move on to Williams. Not a complete change in the driver lineup like Sauber, but Carlos Sainz has moved over to Williams, bringing his Santander sponsor, and they're now sporting the beautiful, iconic Golf livery on the suits, as well as maybe one of their helmets. We'll have to wait and find out, won't we? But I'm not expecting a massive amount from Williams. Maybe Sainz can drag them up a little bit, but the Williams, end of the day, it's still a Williams. It's not going to be anything groundbreaking, but I'm expecting to finish kind of roughly whereabouts they are. But who knows, they might be able to pull some surprises, unlike the next team coming up. The man reborn has been given a lifeline in Formula 1. Logan Sargent partners Oliver Behrman for this season. And the man who maybe you thought was out of F1, maybe even out of the series. No, he's back. Maybe it can be a little bit better. Who knows? I've seen some crazy moves where he's gone to like Aston Martin or whatever, but he's here at Haas with Ollie Behrman. Let's hope their car's better than it was last season. Otherwise, Oliver Behrman is probably be stuck at Haas, the rest of his career. But I'm keeping a keen eye on Logan Sargent, see what he can do this season. The silver arrows are back on the grid, and actually silver this time. Unlike the last few seasons, they've been a bit black and then silver and then black and then black and then maybe a bit of silver here and there. But our former driver in Esteban Ocon is gonna be an interesting one. I mean, Russell, we was fighting with him quite a fair bit, but you know, Ocon, he decided to move. It is what it is. End of the day, I'm happy with who we've got, and I'm sure we'll be racing against both of them. Maybe the gloves will be off between Esteban and Pierre. We'll have to see. But we're on to the next team, the best team on the grid, which is of course us. Signing of Oscar Piastri done really early on compared to some of the other driver moves. Some of them were left till right at the end of the season, or even almost on, let's call it, deadline day, for lack of a better term. But I'm really happy with Oscar. I think he should on paper be quicker than Pierre. Pierre had his moments last year, so we're going to kind of maybe need Oscar to kind of lead the team. He was the better McLaren overall. I think he finished 4th in the standings last season, so he could do a job for us for sure. It must be a bit weird him coming back to Alpine, you know, but I'm excited to see what our boys can do, and I'd love the livery as well. Our bitter rivals have lost their star boy in Yuki Tsunoda, but they've picked up potentially a new star boy in Paul Aron. Now, a bit of a rogue one for sure. However, I kind of like it. I am surprised Ricciardo's still there, which begs the question, who's been moved up to Red Bull, which we'll get to shortly. But I'm so happy Orland's gone off the car. It was a hideous and abomination, and it's giving 2017 Toro Rosso is this livery. So I'm not expecting an awful lot from Paul Aron. If he can do even half a good a job as Yuki, then fair play. He might actually be in the Red Bull further down the line. Who else did you think would be at Aston Martin? I mean, it's obviously going to be Lance Stroll being bankrolled, and also another person who bankrolls things, Felipe Drugovich. Imagine that. 2 really rich parents paying for their children in motorsport. You just couldn't make it up, really, could you? So Felipe Drugovich obviously comes in. He's been in line for that seat, I guess, for a while now. Fernando Alonso's left. He hasn't retired. He's knocking around, but I'll be interested to see if Drugovich can pull his weight and kind of where he is relative to Stroll. You know, it could be close. it might not be close. You know, it's interesting. A new rookie, and speaking of a new rookie, the man who did about 112 free practice sessions for McLaren last season finally gets his shot in Formula 1, obviously accompanying Lando Norris, who had a really weird season. I'm pretty sure he was glitched because he had the same amount of grid drops as Ward had free practice sessions. I think at least half the season him and Perez were always getting grid penalties, so hopefully that doesn't continue, with a beautiful bold white livery. And yeah, I'm excited to see if Ward can translate into race results like he did in pre-practice sessions. The McLaren's going to be quick, it's going to be really quick, but can it break into the top two? All Kiwis rejoice as they see Liam Lawson inside a Red Bull car in Formula 1, and you know what, it's definitely not undeserved. The funny thing is, obviously Max Verstappen winning the World Drivers' title has number 1 on the car, however they didn't win the Constructors, meaning that Ferrari are ahead of them in terms of grid order, in terms of stature, a lot of many other factors. Now we got Rodin and the nice little gold trim on the suits and the car as well, kind of a bit of an homage to the championship win, and obviously a Liam Lawson special. But one team remains, and that's Scuderia. The powerhouse duo of Charles Leclerc and Lewis Hamilton is arguably probably the best driver lineup on the grid. Sucks to say that, but it is probably the truth. Now, if Hamilton can get off to a great start, then there's no reason why he can't get that 8th world title. Now, Charles is going to have a lot harder teammate against them this year, a lot harder than Carlos Sainz, so I'm expecting these guys probably to retain the Constructors title. Now, drivers, I'm thinking Ferrari could probably do it this year. Charles almost won, should have won, but he didn't. Who is going to win the driver's title? That's the main question. Is it going to be us? Is it going to be McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull? We'll have to wait and find out. But let me leave you with our livery for the first 5 races of the season.